Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's December and I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit late with it, but today's video is going to be all about festive wear. So recently I did a campaign, a collaboration with Buy a Gift, which is this place, like UK-based place where you can buy experience-based gifts. And I wrote an article for them because they were hosting like a sustainable Christmas market in London in December, here in December. And I wrote an article for them all about how to thrift your way into festive wear this season. So the article was very focused on, of course, how to thrift the best pieces for the festive season, but also just some thoughts and some ideas on which items that you can invest in, that you can love season after season and through many different occasions to come in the future as well. And I'll leave the article for you guys down below if you want to have a look at it. But I'm picking out some pieces from this article in today's video and giving you some of my best tips on how to find some great, amazing, like secondhand vintage pieces for the festive seasons. And I'm also going to be sharing some tips on how to find the most amazing, timeless pieces out there that you can love year after year. So that's what today's video is all about. It's all about secondhand and lasting festive wear. So today I have 7 different tips in this category. There are some that are more related to how to find these items and which items that I consider to be timeless. And then there are some more styling based tips as well. So let's dig in. So my first tip is to change up your mindset. So if you're looking for something new to fill out some gaps in your wardrobe, if you're one of those people who always feel like you don't have anything to wear and you really always panic ahead of some sort of a special occasion, then it will be wise for you to opt for some pieces that you know you feel like wearing over and over again, and it can sort of like calm you down so that you know you always have something great to wear, something that makes you feel great as well. It can be very individual what these kinds of items are. For me, it's definitely those very timeless and classic items like a black suit, for example, or a little black dress or something similar like that, something very classic that never really go out of style and something I know I feel amazing in and I can always wear if I don't know what else to wear. If you're one of those people who enjoy getting something new into your wardrobe even throughout the festive season and around special occasions, stuff like that, then I definitely recommend you to check out any services that do like renting. So you can rent something so you don't have to buy it and then you can give it back. You can also buy something secondhand and maybe give it back to the charity shops if you only end up wearing this item one time. You could also host like a swapping party and swap your way into new festive items with your friends, just so you sort of keep the things within the circle, like this sustainability circle, so that you don't look at your fashion items or any fashion items really as something disposable. So if you do end up buying something or renting something and you end up getting tired of it, because peace be with that, some people just like this new value in their wardrobe, try to see if you can check out some of these more sustainable options. So let's move on to tip number 2, which is all about which items that I consider to be timeless and perfect for especially the festive season. Because I just mentioned something about opting for items that you know you'll wear more than once. So what could these items be? Like I just mentioned, for me it could be something like a classic black suit, so well-cut blazer, a pair of dress pants, nice little lace cami or a white t-shirt even to make it a bit more relaxed and to give it some contrast, and then a pair of heels. And then you can always like amp it up with a red lip or something like that. Then you're good to go for the festive season. The next item that I cannot live without when it comes to special occasions, basically all year round, but also during the festive season, is my little black dress. I have a black dress in my own wardrobe that I've had for 5 or 6 years now and it never lets me down. And again, you can obviously amp it up with some accessories and some specific makeup. I'll get into that later on in this video, what kind of accessories and makeup I feel like are especially suitable for the festive season. But that's always a way to amp up a very basic kind of item. If you're into jumpsuits, a nice jumpsuit is a great alternative to both the dress and also the suit. So sort of like something in between a suit and a dress could be a jumpsuit. Again, opt for something in a color you know you'll love for years. For me, black is such a safe color, so obviously if I were to go for a jumpsuit, I would go for something in black just to make sure that I would love this item for many years. But obviously if you have some other favorite colors, especially evolved around the festive season, then you could choose either color that you like. I don't wear my dresses and my skirts very often, to be honest. I do wear them, but I'm much more of a pants and top kind of girl. So if you're the same, some of the pieces you can invest in is obviously a pair of nice dress pants that you can also pair with a blazer to have sort of like a suit. But you could also wear them with nice tops such as a lace blouse or a nice slip top with a lace trim or a lace top of some sort. These are all great items for special occasions, and it's definitely something that I personally have loved for years, but again, it might be something else for you. It's really about defining which pieces you feel great in for special occasions, which pieces you feel fancy enough in and that you feel comfortable in, and something that really represents your own true style. So that's kind of the definition of my timeless pieces. So whether you go with something secondhand, or you maybe swap your way into a specific item, or you buy something directly from an ethical brand so that you know this item is sustainably made, it's always worth thinking about these different things so that you know you invest in something you actually want to wear over and over again. When it comes to colors, there are obviously a handful of colors that are specifically suitable for the festive season and for Christmas in general. These are often very deep and rich tones such as burgundy or plum, bottle green, navy, or sort of like a night blue color. Red is obviously a very Christmassy color as well. Then there's gold or anything with sparkles. That's also very suitable and very classic for the festive season. So these are all like colors or textures worth investing in, and that are quite timeless for this time of year. So speaking of all that glitters and all that sparkles, these types of textures and materials are not necessarily the most sustainable because these are often made from plastic. So obviously a thing you could do is to look for these sort of items in secondhand versions, and I'll link some of my favorite secondhand web shops down below, but don't be afraid to check out any of your local thrift stores either, because you might be lucky to find something that you end up liking. If you don't have any luck finding a specific sparkly item in a thrift store or by swapping your way into it, a thing you could do is to do some research online. So go to your favorite web shop and try to filter the search and see if you can find something that is either upcycled or recycled, because again, all that sparkles is not necessarily very sustainably made, but if the material is recycled, then it's definitely a step in the right direction. So before moving on to my best styling tips for the festive season, I thought I just wanted to wrap up some tips on secondhand shopping in step number 4, or tip number 4. So like I just mentioned, I will link some of my favorite secondhand web shops down below for you guys, including my own, because yes, I also have a secondhand web shop, and I also do make sure to look for items that are specifically suitable for the season that we're currently in. Again, the trick here is to filter the search for something like sequins or velvet or anything in those colors that I mentioned before, like burgundy or bottle green, navy, or something with glitter, just to make it a bit more convenient for yourself and feel a little less overwhelming. That's definitely one of my best tips. And then, like I also mentioned before, don't be afraid to visit your local thrift stores as often as possible, because obviously everything in there is unique. They get new stock all the time, so it might change up a bit. So if you don't have any luck one day, you might have some luck another day. So don't be afraid to go on a great little thrift hunt even in your local area that you might not think a lot of. Obviously, this way of shopping, like shopping secondhand in general and swapping, things like that, is a bit more time consuming and not as convenient as, popping in a sequin dress from some sort of a fast fashion brand at a low price that offers free shipping and returns. That's obviously a lot more convenient, but it's also a lot less sustainable. So really it's about practicing the art of taking your time, practicing the art of having a more open mind and a bit of patience, really, because it's not as convenient shopping this way, but it's a lot better for the environment, and that's always worth thinking about. So the final 3 steps or tips in this whole process is all about styling. So tip number 5 is to make yourself up. Something I love is a red lip or red nails, maybe even like a deep red lip or deep red nails is something I feel like it's very dramatic and it's very suitable for like the dark winter months and very suitable for the Christmas season in general. This is especially really powerful if you're wearing something very simple like that before mentioned black suit with a pair of heels and some sort of a top. Something else I really love for the festive season when speaking makeup is something like shimmer. So a great highlighter that you can use both like on your cheekbones, but you can also use it on the entire eyelid. It's something that I love. A great bronzer with some shimmer in is also really powerful, and you can even use these like highlighters and bronzers on your chest. So if you're wearing something that has sort of like a deep neckline or a plunging neckline of some sort, you can add a bit of highlighter to like your collarbones or just like on your upper body to make yourself look a bit more glammed up, really. Moving on to tip number 6, which is all about accessories and what kind of accessories you can have a look at in particular for the festive season. So one thing you could obviously look for is something like a clutch, like a sweet little beaded clutch or something with sequins or something similar like that. And again, you could use those tips that I mentioned at first in this video, which were more evolved around shopping and what kind of items to look for. So in order to stay as sustainable as possible, you could obviously go for something secondhand or something recycled of some sort. Rocket Vintage is one of my favorite secondhand stores in London. They also have a web shop, and I know that they have a lot of beaded and sequin things. So I actually recently received a gift card for Rocket Vintage by Rocket Vintage, just for me to use at any time I found it suitable. And I just thought that since I've been sharing some content and these articles about thrifting your way to a festive outfit this season, I thought it was great timing because, you know, I went ahead and bought a few items from there to really prove to you guys that it's actually possible to find pre-loved items or vintage items that have this very Christmassy and festive vibe to them. So again, even with accessories, it's actually possible to find something among the vintage and thrift stores. Just if you're shopping online, make sure to filter your search so it feels a lot less overwhelming. And if you're going into a physical shop, it's actually quite easy to find the festive items because they will like catch your eye as soon as you walk into the shop. I made a vlog recently where I took you guys thrift shopping with me, and I kind of had this focus on festive items. It was so easy for me to pick them out because they like caught my eye instantly, because I was like tuned in on this whole velvet, sequins, sparkles, anything burgundy, anything bottle green. You know, I had this whole mindset already when I approached the store. So I really feel like if you approach any thrift store, it's really powerful to know what you're looking for before you enter. That will help you a lot along the way. So just like with makeup, like hair and makeup, when you spend some extra time really considering what you do and like spend some extra time amping up your whole makeup game, the same really goes for accessories, I feel like, because they make a huge difference. For me, I really love going for classic accessories because that means that I can actually wear these outside of the festive season as well. Like, you wouldn't necessarily wear a sequin clutch all throughout the year. So for me, I love investing in something I can also use during other seasons, really. So I like to go for something like a classic crossbody bag or something like that, a classic clutch. I have my classic vintage Chanel bag, which is something I always tend to go for like any festive occasion because it's quite bougie with that chain that it has. I also like to put on like all of my favorite golden or silver jewelry, just like amp up my entire look. Tip number 7, which is also going to be my final tip in this timeless festive wear guide, is all about pairing something old with something new. A thing that's really powerful if you find something like a vintage beaded top, for example, is to pair it with something more contemporary and modern, like a pair of high-rise light blue skinny jeans, for example. I also find it super powerful to pair more fancy items with something a bit more relaxed. I just love these contrasts and I love playing around with them even for a special occasion. And also, who doesn't have a pair of blue jeans in their wardrobe, right? So it's an easy way to like style items that might otherwise be a bit hard to style, if that makes sense. In general, no matter what you're shopping for, if it's something for the festive season or if it's something new for your wardrobe, it's really important that you always consider if you have something in your wardrobe that you could easily style this item with. And really the same thing applies for any item you might invest in throughout the festive season. So I think that's it for this video, guys. That was my timeless festive wear guide. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram for daily outfit updates, and do make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Christmas. Take care, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye guys.